Good morning. It is mid-August 2025 and it's been really hot except for a short cool down over the last few days, so I thought I'd just do a quick little update video since I'm up early and it feels nice. So this is our Waddell giant pear tree. It's third summer in the ground and it's first summer with a lot of fruit. There goes our pug. She was chasing a bunny. So the tree has grown fantastic. Summer doesn't bother it at all. Our Fuerte avocado, I think it's about 5 years old now. 4 summers at least. I have to forgive the mess. I've been doing a little bit of stuff out here when I can, and it's been hot, so I haven't felt like cleaning up much. So here's a little Abiu yellow Kaimitos seedling, and also a green avocado seedling. So just experiments there. Some little white sapotes, and I did notice that little Abiu, in comparison to this one, which was just a seed from the same time that I stuck in a raised bed that's about 4 times as tall. So that was kind of interesting. It likes being in the ground a lot more. Our southern blush mango been growing quite a bit over the summer. It's finally seems to be getting settled in after being transplanted in 24. Pretty happy. So ice cream bananas, Yehuda loquat. It's getting a little cooked up over this last couple weeks of a lot of heat, so might have to increase its watering a little bit. Papaya has been doing well over the summer. Strawberry papaya, we did get some fruit off of this. We actually ate recently. There's quite a few more on there, but they have a ways to go. The green sapote, all this white you're seeing on there is a Surround WP, so it's a clay-based protectant from the sun. It probably wasn't needed on that tree because it has a lot of shade from surrounding foliage, but anyway. Namdok my mango. This is definitely my happiest grafted in-ground mango tree. I tried grafting a number of different scions on it this spring, and 2 of them took. This one's a lemon zest, and it hasn't grown a ton, but it definitely survived, which is great. And this is a southern blush. I tried to put a couple others on it, and they didn't take it. But I'm very new still to grafting, so. This is a Jumbo persimmon, and it has survived so far its first summer. Again, a lot of that clay on it to protect it. And then a couple experimental in-pot avocados that I picked up at Home Depot when they were on sale. My newest little toys here. Hi, bug. Dragon fruit that a friend sent me some cuttings for, and we stuck them in ground, and they've only been in ground for about a week, but they've been putting on some little branches on a couple of them, so that's great to see. Hopefully they make it. A couple more of the Kaimito here. This one is a purple Kaimito, and that one is the yellow, or the Abiu. So definitely different foliage and everything, which is interesting because the fruit looks very similar beyond the color. Kent seedling, little cherimoya seedling, a little volunteer from the seed I spit out or stuck in there a while back. Here's our Kent mango, which has been in the ground for a few years now, just a seedling. But it has definitely been the overall strongest of the in-ground mangoes that we have. Has a lemon zest scion grafted onto it there, so some of my minimally effective grafting that I was practicing this spring in May, it's getting pretty big. It's probably 7 feet tall now. No protection in the winter, doesn't seem to need it anymore. Blueberries, And this was a boysenberry. We didn't get any fruit off the boysenberry this year, first year in ground, but we did get some blueberries, and it's made it through the summer fine as long as it had some shade protection. What's left of our sad tomatoes from the summer. Surprisingly, the early girls are still actually trying to grow some fruit, which is crazy. I haven't really given these guys any attention at all, so. Coconut cream mango, always a goofy thing. I don't know if we'll end up keeping it in the long run, but I will at least try to get some good scions off of it. It's just not growing in a shape that I think is ever going to amount to much. Some more seedling things here. So these are white sapotes, and then some purple orchid trees. And they've got a little cooked in the summer. They might have gotten a little bit of a rust or some sort of a thing going on there too, but I didn't treat them at all. They seem to be doing okay now though. That avocado probably will come back once it cools down. Seedling longan, been in the ground for a long time. Barely grows, but it survives. And then Mexico Grande avocado again in a pot. It's made it through summer, those potted avocados. I'm kind of surprised, but they're in heavy shade. So maybe that'll be a way to do them going forward. A couple more Kaimito seedlings. A little oak tree that my daughter brought back from camping just as a seed, and we stuck it in the ground and it sprouted and it's living in the summer. So we'll find somewhere to put that at some point. Again, more purple orchid trees. White sapote seedlings. I'll probably put one of these in the ground this fall. And then a seedling peach tree. I think it came from a desert gold based off the flowers and what I have in the front yard. And then our longan, again covered in lots of clay. Protect it, but it might not have needed it, I don't know. But overall it's doing well. It's been pushing out some new growth over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So it's getting bushier. Survived better than ones in the past, so that's great. And then seedling loquat. So no idea what we're going to get out of that. This is its second summer. I did graft one Yehuda scion on here just as an experiment, and it took, so that's cool to see. So maybe I can get some other varieties from people. Peanut butter fruit tree / bush. It's actually doing much better this year than it had the last couple of summers. We have not gotten any fruit in maybe 3 years off of this thing. We got a few the first summer, and then that was it. Lots and lots of flowers, but none of the fruit actually holds. I don't know why that is. Our extreme heat, maybe it doesn't like the microclimate, maybe it's just getting established, but it gets lots and lots and lots of little flowers, and unfortunately the fruit always drops. So hopefully that'll change in the future. Large Barbados cherry bush. I cut this back extensively every year, but it makes for good shade for everything that's kind of being stuck in these little nursery pots underneath it. And the fruit's good. It's better this year than last year. Once the birds find it, that's it though. It's over. White mulberry here, white Pakistani mulberry, planted as a shade tree, and it grows really well. So it's been a pretty safe choice there. All right, so Primark Freedom blackberries. They do get a bit cooked in the summer, but the ones that are shaded do okay, and they will try to fruit over the summer, but it's just too hot and it dries up before it matures, which is a shame. Dwarf Namwa banana, and it has started to grow much more quickly this summer, so that's good to see. It hasn't put out any pups yet, which is unfortunate, and apparently the birds like to sit above it and poop on it, but oh well, fertilizer. So some kind of beat up looking grapevines. I think it's mostly just white flies that are the problem. I didn't spray anything. So wonderful pomegranates. They are getting pretty big now. I'm still trying to grow them into more of a tree shape over time. So here's a 4. I probably should have picked a couple off, but oh well, just for fun. quite a bit of fruit on there. We got some good ones last year, although the leaf-footed bugs got quite a few. These are actually very large this year for August, and typically they aren't even ripe until December, so they're huge already. So we'll see if what they're like in December. It's kind of crazy. Spicy nectar plum, this goofy tree, beautiful in the spring. Only held on to a couple of fruit, and it's mid-August and they're still hard as a rock. I have no idea what's going on with this thing. I've never actually gotten fruit in at least 3 years that I've had it in the ground. I like the tree, and like when it first comes out, all the foliage is a beautiful purple, very dark, like a plum tree, and then it changes to look more like an actual nectarine or peach. So I'll keep the tree for a while yet still. Hopefully we'll start getting fruit. Tiger Panache fig. Had to mow the lawn, so I took up the little protection cloth here. Produced quite a lot of fruit, but it is a constant battle with the birds. So I've been experimenting with different netting and whatnot. Cadota fig tree. This thing has been producing fruit for about 2 months now, which is crazy. Again, it's a battle with the birds to get the actual fruit to maturity before they somehow find their way into this net. They are extremely persistent. So, good fig. Not a lot of flavor profile to speak of, but very sweet, makes really, really good jam. So, and an apple tree's been doing fine over the summer. A little bit of kind of light colored leaves. I sprayed some liquid fertilizer on it recently, so maybe that'll help a little bit. But these are also new leaves. I think they'll darken up as they go by. There are a few cuttings that were grafted onto here from a tropic sweet apple, which is right next door, which didn't produce anything this summer, and it's just never grown great. I may actually experiment grafting some other stuff onto this one, or just get rid of it completely since I have the scions already grafted onto the Anna apple. Mineola Tangelo, slow grower. It is actually looking better this summer though. Overall, better growth, everything of that nature, but it only produced one fruit, so that's disappointing. Behind this little shade cloth is a white sapote. It's a Campbell variety. It's about, say, almost 7 feet tall now. Would probably be a little taller if it wasn't for the shade cloth, but I don't have taller poles, so it's kind of getting a little smushed on the top. I'll probably take this shade off at the beginning of September. It's done pretty well over the summer though, surprisingly. And this is its second summer, I believe, in ground, so it's getting pretty established now. Weeping Santa Rosa plum. We did get a fair amount of fruit on it, but they stayed very small, and unfortunately they ripened up when I was out of town, so I only got to eat 1 or 2 of them, which was kind of disappointing. We did have a casualty this summer, which was a Mexican pink guava. It never grew very well. This was only its second summer though, so I don't know if it got underwatered, overwatered, just wasn't a healthy tree, I don't know. So now I'm just throwing clippings in there and making some good soil. Tropic pink guava has lots and lots of fruit, but also unfortunately a fair amount of sunburn, and so I lost most of the fruit. There are some ones that are developing that we might get some okay stuff out of. Typically they're ripe right around now, so they're a little delayed this summer. Oh, there goes one. Ones that fall, the rabbits like to eat, and I don't think they're anywhere near ripe enough for me to enjoy, so I guess they're rabbit food. I think this tree needs a pretty good trim this coming winter. I think I'm gonna take out the lower branching and try to raise the canopy. Okay, all right, we're gonna do the front yard really quick. Okay, so we're starting in our front yard, which is on the north side of the house, and this is actually the east side of the yard. So inside there we have a small grapefruit. It was planted in kind of a rough place to start its life in the summer here with the heat, but hopefully it'll come back in the fall. This is the Peter's honey fig. It's produced lots of fruit, almost none of which has gotten to an edible size. So I think it just needs to get a little more established. The tree itself is doing very well. Katy apricot. This is probably its 4th year, and it's done very well despite the heat. I think it finally got established enough. The last 2 summers it looked pretty cooked up by August. So yeah, looking good. This is a Giro persimmon. Only 1 fruit holding on it this year, which is its 2nd summer. It's in a pretty hot spot of the yard, but it does get afternoon shade, and it seems to be doing okay. And I've noticed over the last few days that it's starting to put on some little growth, so I think it'll be all right. It's, you know, again, covered in clay. This is a Keat mango seedling. I lopped the top off there this spring to try to get it to branch, and it branched perfectly. So there's 3 nice branches on there. It's done very well over the summer, but it gets a lot of afternoon shade from this Pakistan mulberry, which is out of control and which gets trimmed back extensively in the winter. But it's mulch, and we do get quite a bit of fruit off of it, and it's shade for the house and for those other trees. Desert gold peach, very productive, large fruit, is going to be in need of a very hefty trim. What I've learned with these is they produce so much fruit and it's so large that these outside branches will bend down and just break unless you really shore them up. And so I'm going to start growing this thing a little more vertical and not quite so wide going forward. Second Tiger Panache fig tree. Lots of fruit on it. This one is a little more protected from the birds, but it's also a little later in developing, and I don't know if that's because in the spring this one is shaded for a longer time period, so that's okay. The tree itself looks really good. Still putting on more small ones too, so maybe we'll get a late crop. Very good tasting. They've been small so far, the fruit itself, but I think that's because the tree is just not very mature yet. Hong Kong orchid tree, which is in its 2nd summer, so I'm starting to raise the canopy a little bit on this. Beautiful blooms, and always looks a little bit rough early to midsummer, but it's coming back okay. Another Primark Freedom Blackberry. This one produces quite a bit. The only problem is the late afternoon sun hits it and cooks the fruit, which you can see right here. So we're waiting for this Hong Kong orchid on the other side of it to grow up and shade it in the afternoon, then I think it'll do better. Confederate rose, just decorative, but very pretty flowers. And then this is a seedling peach tree. I don't know if somebody stuck that pit in there or if it got spit out and it seemed to survive. So there's a small carambola starfruit in there. Another seedling volunteer cherimoya. Well, it's not really volunteer. I mean, I stuck the seed out here, but it's just a seedling. Just an experiment. Doing okay in the summer, but heavily shaded. A couple little papaya seedlings, blue banana. We had a pup and nowhere to put it, so we just stuck it out here to see how it would do. This part of the yard gets some hot afternoon sun, but it's also quite a bit of shade, so. Alright, so just a couple more right quick here and we'll be done. So, Florida Prince peach. This is our favorite peach for sure. It's a little stunted because of some bad pruning I did last summer and I had to cut it back a little more extensively. But it produced a lot and the fruit tastes really good. Usually early to mid-May fruit. This is Royal Poinciana. Looks a little rough on the bottom part here, but that's how they seem to come out, then they die. It would be much bushier if I would let it, but I'm trying to grow it up high because of where it is next to our window in our front yard. If the canopy is below about 6 feet, it's really going to block our view. So I've been trimming all the little side branches and everything off up until now, and then I'm going to let it start filling in. Beyond that, it actually has done very well. Beautiful foliage, and it's going to be really pretty once it fills in. And a tropic snow peach, so a white freestone. These are a little later, sometimes going into mid-July. They taste good, but I did notice this summer they seem to have a little heavier fuzz on them, which was not my favorite. I didn't notice it in the past, so I don't know why that was. Maybe it was just me noticing it this year, or maybe there's another reason for it, but it's the hardiest of all the peach trees we have. And again, like the Desert Gold, it's getting a little too wide, so I need to narrow it and promote a little more of a vertical growth to it so it doesn't break branches. All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.